Let's cast some replays here. Kaiju Strikes Back sent me this from him versus NC's Gala. Skaven versus the Warriors of Chaos. No, must finish labeling other recording. No. Okay, we're good. Ooh, Tretch. Tretch Graventail. Alright, for the Skaven, we have front line of Skaven Slave Spears. Tretch Graventail up front with Tretch's Raiders and then the Lucky Skull Helm. Tretch's Raiders, if stuff is winning nearby, he gives them buffs. 2 Poison Wind Globes, Stormverm with Halberds, and Ixchia's Triads backing these guys up. 2 Rattling Guns, 4 Ratogers, and Warlock Engineer with his Aerial Net, Flensing Ruin, and that is it. On the other side, we have Forsaken and Marauder spam. Some Marauder Horse Masters, Marauder Horsemen of Tzeentch 2. 2 Armored Chaos Trolls, and then Azazel with Pavane Rampage. And that is it for spells, really. Okay, alright. I accept. You know, Skaven Globes are going to make a mess of the Forsaken on the charge. They'll kill their own Skaven Slave Spears, but that is a collective who cares, as Rattling Guns are currently tearing up the Skaven Slaves in the front. And there's a Rampage from the Poison Wind Globes, forcing them to go completely insane and charge straight into Forsaken to get massacred. So nice use of the Rampage there. That is one of those precious, precious globes dead. As these Rattling Guns are firing in and doing, oh, so much damage. These guys are firing in, also trying to get any damage out onto the Trolls as they charge in. So far not terribly impressive, but they're getting there. I have to sneeze. Still, the Trolls are holding. In the distance, we have Rat Ogres peeling away the Skirmish Cab to make sure they don't harm the Rattling Guns. As these Rattling Guns try and shoot at Forsaken at close range. Now they're going to shoot at the Marauders in the distance. And on the high ground, a Skaven Slave Spear is traded for a Forsaken as Rat Ogres and Ixchia's Triads help out aplenty with that. The Rattling Guns are still causing, I guess, a mild nuisance? A mild nuisance. This one turns to try and ignore the Forsaken, but I don't know how long you can do that even. As they fire sideways down these Marauders of Khorne. So far, the Skaven doing alright. They are chilling. Poison Wind Globes going to throw at Skirmish Cav. Skirmish Cav do not want to fight Poison Wind Globes at range. They want to fight them in melee, not at range. Some Rattling Guns trying to catch Azazel, but they looks like they're going to get rampaged once again by that Pavane, forcing them to walk into these Marauders of Khorne and slowly die. Now, thankfully, there's already Rat Ogres here doing a good bit of peeling. There's a Howling Warp Gale into Azazel, but unfortunately the only Rattling Guns in range are currently Rampage, so they might be able to help out. These Rattling Guns do actually mess up the armored Trolls for just a hot second. And these guys are going to run away under a storm of bullets. Still not that impressive of damage, honestly, though I will say this Skaven player is doing fantastically keeping these guys alive. He's been playing really well around them. They're just not going to reward him for his efforts, but he's trying. Elsewhere, the Stormvermin are hanging out. I mean, armor piercing versus all these Forsaken is certainly very good. Forsaken's still trying to chase down, but in come the Rat Ogres to peel them. Slams through these guys, keeping the Rattling Guns nice and safe. So that looks like a Flensing Rune was miscast onto the ground instead of attaching to Azazel. It might have been just a teeny tiny misclick. Because if you miss that tiny bird model in the air there, it's pretty easy to click on the ground behind him and then it casts anyway. Rattling Guns trying to defend the high ground, firing down into Marauders on their way up. Rout off the Forsaken. There are a bunch of still Marauder Horsemen everywhere. Yeah, just everywhere. Marauder Horsemen all over the dang place. So for the Warriors of Chaos, it's Azazel and Marauder Horsemen for the most part. Everything else is battered enough that I don't care about it. There's one full health troll, but whatever. As one Rattling Gun shoots, it hits its brethren who are trying to move next to the Forsaken. Then these guys finally get in range to try and peel for the Poison Wind Globes as Armored Chaos Trolls run them down. Still, that leadership debuff might get rid of them. Honestly, Skaven are playing really well. Like, the build is a little silly, but they're playing well with it. Another Rampage coming out from Azazel, as he does. Rampages and damages the Rattling Guns quite a lot while these Rattling Guns try and take him out of the sky. He seems fine with that. He's just sitting in front of these guys. Elsewhere, Skirmish Cav's still trying to skirmish around and be silly, but Azazel's going to dive onto these Rattling guns and take care of them. But, he gets netted in between two pairs of Rattling guns. Throws up his Temptator for the 20% damage resistance, but still at this close of range, the Rattling guns are actually going to get some pretty decent damage down onto him. And that's good. That's good stuff. Good use of the Rattling guns. Nice job. Skaven play making me happy so far. Azazel will take out that Rattling gun at last. So where are we at for the Skaven? I haven't checked in on Tretch for a while, but most people have just been ignoring him. He has 83 value, so yep, everyone's just been ignoring him. Still have a lot of Storm Vermin Halberds. Rat Ogres are very, very healthy. Warlock and Mirror is full health. Tretch is full health. And that's pretty rough. For the Forces of Chaos, Azazel is at half HP, still taking a little bit of poke from the Rattling guns here and there. A lot of Skirmish Cavalry with a good amount of ammunition left. How much does it matter? Marauder Horsemen of Tzeentch get caught by the Rat Ogres and the Storm Vermin. They're going to need to run soon while the Rattling guns try and punch these other ones, take the HP off. Actually, yeah, take all the barriers off of them, get a good amount of damage out of the Marauder Horsemen of Tzeentch. So go, Rattling guns, go. As Ixtra's Triads. That is not a summon. So the Ixtra's Triads are actually going to take out a Marauder of Khorne. Cool, cool. Skaven's still trying to hold. I am getting a little concerned that if this Rattling gun dies, then we will have a long skirmish phase of unshielded halberds just getting mowed down by Skirmish Cav for quite a while. Rattling guns will continue to get little bits of poke in here and there, take out models where they can. Rat Ogres are diving in. Skirmish Cav gonna try and avoid them on the charge. Some of the Rat Ogres get their attack animation off. Yeah, they're gonna get a couple shots here and there. And there's another rampage onto the Rattling guns. Try and deal enough damage to get them to rout where Slaanesh can pick them off. Or something. Rat Ogres out here, catching another Marauder unit while Azazel dives in on them, causing terror, and there's a bunch of Skirmish Cav to pick them off, so all looking pretty good. A Howling Warp Gale was just cast. I think it was trying to catch Azazel, but he might have moved out of range of the Warlock Engineer, just had standing orders to go move there. Not entirely sure. Now, for the Skirmish Cav, some of them still have all the ammunition in the world, but some of the Skirmish Cav are running out, and that could be concerning. And there is a nice Funzing Ruin onto Azazel. Hopefully it's overcast. It is not. Still going to be some decent damage onto him for a bit. And all that damage will stick. Azazel has no form of healing whatsoever. Troll's route for the final time are going to shatter, while other Rat Ogres dive in onto Azazel again, getting any poke they can in onto him just to make him pay. They want to get to a late game where it's just Skirmish Cav with no ammo, since their Rattling guns, yeah, the Rattling guns are all dead, so there's nothing that can punish the Skirmish Cav. Here comes a Howling Warp Gale, but he's already up in the sky, so nothing can hurt him now. Alright, Rat Ogre's Rat Ogering. We have a bit of skirmish. As that takes place, I doubt there will be any real action. They're trying to catch out these Storm Vermin. I was going to fast forward as both armies regroup, but might get some nasty volleys on these Storm Vermin. 90 armor, no missile resist, no shields. Probably going to take a lot of damage. Oh, that Horseman of Tzeentch isn't in range. There's just 2 Horse Masters. Okay. Azazel coming over might want to dive on these guys. He is infantry size, so I guess their anti-large isn't that helpful against him, but I'm pretty sure he just wants to pick off anybody that's out of formation while he still can, cause terror and chase them off the battlefield or whatever. Azazel does have to get in there. Not taking any damage so far as the Skaven start to regroup around him, but with a Forsaken charge and they're getting attacked, they're going to terror out soon. Azazel's scary. Oh, they managed to hold for now. Super low, though. And Rattling guns are back once again, poking Azazel. He gets another rampage out onto them just to kill them off. That does shatter them at last, but Azazel took another couple hundred HP for that. In the distance, I'm not loving that some of the Skaven are just out wandering around. They do need to group up, otherwise the skirmish heavy Forces of Chaos will try and just like pick off anybody that's not a part of the main group. So having those guys over there does make this a little bit harder. Now Azazel is a bit stuck at the moment. He's trying to get out of here as Tretch Craventail comes it! Go, Tretch, go! He's running for him! And Azazel's on this guy. Okay. Well, for the Forces of Chaos, their Skirmish Cav are running pretty low on ammunition. If the Skaven can regroup, they should be just fine. Azazel doesn't have a lot of HP. There's not a ton this Skirmish Cav can do. Quick little fast forward here as the Skirmish Cav is just going to run away. Azazel dives in. Skirmish, skirmish, skirmish. Skirmish, skirmish, skirmish. There's a nice Flensing Ruin. Onto Azazel. It is Overcast. That is going to be a lot of damage, especially if he doesn't have Temptator up right now. So, damn! Storm Vermin going to get rampaged by Pavane of Slaanesh, do a little bit of extra damage. Plus the Rat Ogres we were talking about earlier being separated out. They did get picked off as the other infantry is trying to move up, but Azazel is still taking Flensing Ruin damage. 15 seconds left of that onto him. Not sure how much damage it is going to do or if it's going to finish him off, but it's getting darned close. Meanwhile, the Skaven continue to get drawn out into a line so that the Skirmishers can really beat up on them. And Azazel lives. Does his leadership hold so he doesn't demonic instability crumble? It looks like it does for now. Bounce power is still slightly Skaven favored, as Azazel is just a non-factor at this point. But on the low ground, Skaven Slave Spear is getting charged by Horse Masters. Should take them out. Their leadership is pathetic, but they do have Storm Vermin backing them up, so it looks like the healthier, beefier rats will keep these little Skaven slaves in line. Push back the Martyr Horsemen once again. But Ix's Triads, the Rat Ogres are all looking pretty beat up. Tretch and the Warlock Engineer probably need to group up on their last Storm Vermin Halberds. The Skirmish Cav have 5 volleys, 1 volley, and no volleys. So, yeah, that'll be okay. Warlock Engineer, whenever it gets into melee, is going to start draining down some stuff, like these Chaos Trolls. The Storm Vermin Halberds try to get up low and get into those Chaos Trolls. The skirmish continues against the Skaven. After Warriors of Chaos took out all their ranged, it is very hard get much done here. Azazel is 1 hit from death. And he is starting to get... Ooh, he's getting Mortis Engine down by the Warlock Engineer. As he starts to walk away, was that extra little bit of damage enough to get him to Demonic Instability Crumble when he gets away from the fight? Because his charge bonus was keeping him alive for quite a while, but... Alright, he gets in this guy. He's still alive for now. 4 leadership left for him. Still have some Rat Ogres, still have Tretch. Still have a very healthy Storm Vermin Halberds and a Warlock Engineer Mortis Engine. Rat Ogres take the fight to somebody's Skirmish Cav. 3 volleys left on one of them is all that's left. Temptator is out. Demon Blade is active. Azazel jumps in. Howling Warp Gale keeps him locked in place. And he does start to Demonic Instability Crumble in the face of the mighty Tretch Craven Tail, so he's going to go bye-bye. Oh, rallies for just a hot second, then he is gone. Now the Forces of Chaos lose their will to fight and start routing en masse. There's a pile of Halberds, a Mortis Engine, and a Lord. Really difficult to see these guys winning it. Hey, Tretch's Raiders was active for just a hot second there. There it is again! +8 melee attack! As the Storm Vermin Halberds actually get some of that benefit for a little bit, but oof. Full health Trolls getting close to routing just because Azazel's dead. That's pretty brutal. Cavalry of Chaos trying to cycle charge their way through these halberds. That's a tall order, my friends. Storm Vermin attacked on all sides, fighting in all directions, occasionally getting damage out of the Martyr Horse Masters, as again the Warlock Engineer's Drain is doing some decent work here in the late game. Just guaranteed value where there otherwise is none. Can anyone get through these halberds when all you have are large units? Probably not. And then Tretch. And then the Warlock Engineer. 2 more volleys for these Marauder Horse Masters. But I think that's just Ogre Kingdoms. Skirmish Cav in, Skirmish Cav out, Skirmish Cav in, Skirmish Cav out, Skirmish Cav in, Skirmish Cav out. Almost breaking the halberds. But almost is not enough as they start routing off. Army loss is going to hit soon. They might get those Storm Vermin, but then I don't know how they get the Warlock Engineer and Tretch, considering how this is going. There it is. GG's. Tretch is too brave for the Forces of Slaanesh. Still didn't get a lot of value, but I guess he didn't die, which is also a thing. Rat Ogres didn't get a lot of value. Storm Vermin Halberds did great. Poison globes did fine. And Rattling guns, OP, got tons of value. And Kaiju did play really well around the Rattling guns. I'll give him that. I still hate Rattling guns. I still think they suck, but he played really, really well with them. Congrats to him. For Gala, really well done with the skirmish cav. The infantry all just unfortunately died. Even the Forsaken couldn't get too much done, so GG. Roar. Subscribe, yes, yes.